So let's understand what happened. He was traumatized as a child in a chet, in a sin that should not happen to children, and it manifested itself to be full drug addict, mamish terrible, rebelled on the street. His whole life is turned upside down. He goes ahead with tremendous strength, enormous strength, becomes clean, becomes stable, starts keeping Shabbos. How many of our kids could say that they're keeping Shabbos because they want to? He wants to. He fought back coming from Chil Shabbos, went against all the bad friends, ripped himself away from all the bad friends, kept Shabbos. It's so hard. Got himself clean. Shabbos, tefillin, kashrus, shoyim Torah mitzvah is going to be in Olam Haba. And his parents said, you're not good enough. We still have hope. One day you're going to have pious. We still have hope. And it's not just Hasidim. Whatever it is that you'd be merachik the child with, but in this case it was a Hasidish thing. We still have hope you're going to have pious. The kid is a hero. He fought for Hashem. He was mamish kvoit shemayim that came out of him. And he's coming back from hell, from everything he went through, and built himself up. Shabbos, tefillin, kashrus, olam haba. He wants to get married and settle down. You're not good enough. And the kid has a hole in his heart. Try to imagine his pain. And I work with parents. I understand the pain of parents. Everybody wants to be like them. I get it. But there's a situation here. And now you're taking a kid and you punch him in the stomach. He said, every time I get off the phone with my parents, I feel like I want to die. I want to use drugs. I break out in a sweat. I'm being abandoned. I'm being pushed away. I'm being rejected because I'm not Hasidish. Think for one moment what a travesty this is, but I'll tell you the biggest chutzpah. If this was what the Baal Shem Tov said, and this was their movement, and they were merachik, their child, in the name of their movement, that if you're not Hasidish and you don't have pious, that you're not a Yid. So I think it's wrong, but I can understand. You're rejecting your child in the name of what you believe in. But here, they're rejecting their child, pushing him into sin. If he's going to break one day, he's going to be Machal Shabbos. It's mamish lifnei iver. It's mamish going to be them. And that's what the Pele Yoyed says, and that's what many Svarim say. You merachik somebody, you break their spirit. It's the opposite, mamish, causing pain, the opposite of Ahavas Yisrael, the opposite. And they're doing it in the name of the Baal Shem Tov. And ask any authentic Hasidish person, what did the Baal Shem Tov stand for? Pious? A shtraimel? That's the trappings. The whole message of the Baal Shem Tov was inclusion, was acceptance, was building people. You're special. Every little thing you do, every piece of Hasidus is about that. And you're taking the Baal Shem Tov, you're taking the Sefer of the Baal Shem Tov, everything he believes in, and you're using it as a baseball bat to knock somebody, and not just somebody. The kid was out. He came back, not good enough. A father told me, this happened to me. A father told me, he lives, I don't want to say which neighborhood, very Hasidish place. He said his son was Machal Shabbos when I met him, and Baruch Hashem, he became frum. He's clean shaven, no payas. Father said he can't come home for Shabbos without payas. He has to have payas, otherwise he can't come home for Shabbos. In the name of who? In the name of what? He's Shomer Shabbos already. He should have been allowed home, right? We know. Even if he's Machal Shabbos, but we did the work. We were Makarif him. He's from, for crying out loud. It's a Himmelgeschrei. Cry for these people. The kid did tshuva, but the parents will never do tshuva because nobody's slapping them in the face and telling them, hello, you're off the derech. In the name of what? Who? This is what the Baal Shem Tov wanted? So I told the father, really, he's showing me Torah mitzvahs, Gan Eden, nothing. And he's going to learn Eretz Yisrael. So let's play this out. He can't come home for Shabbos because he doesn't have payas, langa payas. Fine. He goes to Eretz Yisrael, right? And he does a shidduch, right? And he sits and learns for 15 years, 16, 20, 25, 30 years. He becomes Miatzis Gedoyle HaTorah of Eretz Yisrael. He can't come home for Shabbos because he doesn't have payas. Let's say he becomes the Litvish Gadol Adar. No? No good? What are we doing, Rabban Shalom? What are we doing? And I'm not against the parents. These parents are klein, keppeldick, small-minded humans like we all are. But they were trained. They were brought up. They went through a chinuch system. Yes, you should be proud of your Hasidish begadim and your payas. And you could even be Meiser Nefesh yourself to keep them. Yes, beautiful. But Yenim, you want to be Meiser somebody else's Nefesh who's climbing back to Hashem, and you can't even say a good word to him and say, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You came back. How many kids in our system choose God? He's choosing Hashem every single day. Puts on tefillin, feels connected. He's Erlich, not Chassidish. Come on. And they're doing it in the name of the Baal Shem Tov. I wish they would ask their Rebbe, Rebbe, is this what the Baal Shem Tov meant? Isn't this twisted? Isn't this twisting the whole movement of the Baal Shem Tov of inclusion? Go to somebody struggling and give them idud, encouragement. Every Hasidish Rebbe, every Litvish Rav, every Rosh Hashiva, every Muslim, everything says, when it comes to somebody else, you give encouragement, ashmeichel, encouragement. Mahu rachum, avata havei rachum. You're not going to find it anywhere. It's an assign. It's a challenge when kids are different than you. I get it. But we have to be clear to understand what a challenge is and what the Ratzon Hashem is. What's difficult? Yes, you want a hug? Come here, I'll give you a hug. I feel very bad. It's very hard. Very hard. Don't confuse it with God. And don't confuse it with the Baal Shem Tov. And don't confuse it with Chassidus. And don't confuse it with Litvisha, Yeshiva. Don't confuse it with Torah. Keep Torah out of it. Say, I'm a very small, petty human being, and it just hurts me because everybody's going to talk about me, and I can't lift my head up, and it's too hard for me, and therefore, I'm going to sacrifice my child, l'moilech, l'avodah zara, for my own kavod. I'm going to do the wrong thing. I'm going to be over isurim, neiraim. I'm going to be over lifnei iver. I'm going to shecht, akedes yitzchak. I'm going to shecht my child against Hashem's will because I am a petty, tiny little human being. I respect you for that. There's help for you. I will help you. But the gaiva, that's the biggest problem about a bal gaiva. Ein ani v'hu yecholim ladur. The sinner, the biggest sinner in the world, it says, Ani Hashem ha-sheichin itam b'seichtum asam. Hashem has no problem, so to speak, of saying, I am with you no matter what sin you do. But gaiva, I can't stay with you. You know why? Because there's no room in your world for me, Hashem says. There's no room in your petty mind, in your world, for anything real. So yes, admit it, I'm killing my kid for the sake of my neighbors. My kid will end up being Mechal Shabbos because I'm rejecting him for more times and for longer, and I'm causing him pain, and I'm being over in Ahavas Yisrael, and I'm going against the Zohar Kaddish, and I'm going against the Baal Shem Tov. I'm going against the Baal Shem Tov, and the Chazon Ish, and Reb Gershon Edelstein, and Reb Steinman, and the Satmar Rebbe, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Fine. I respect you. Call a spade, but don't confuse Torah. Don't bring Torah into your pettiness. Keep Hashem out of it.